Hi everyone, I'm Ben Curry from Electrical Innovations, and Expert Trades have asked me to review the new Tado, I say new, been out a while I think, and the Tado wireless smart thermostat. So I'm going to do a quick review of this. I'm going to show you why I was interested in getting involved, because I've got a Nest at the moment and swapping to this will be quite cool. And I'll show you some of the things it does as well. So this is the thermostat itself. Comes in a nice Apple style packaging, I guess. The main thing for me as to why I was interested in getting my hands on one of these is this thing here. So it works with HomeKit. So if you're a Apple user and you've got iPhones and things like that, Apple Watch, then this is going to work straight away with your Siri. So you can just ask Siri to change the heating, no messing about, nothing involved. Whereas if you've got a Nest or something like that, then it doesn't work with HomeKit. So you still got Alexa control, you still got your Google Assistant as well, but only HomeKit products are going to work with Siri, which the Tado does and the Nest doesn't. So I've got one of the original first generation Nest thermostats. So we'll swap this one out and we'll have a look at the differences. So this is everything you get in the box. Tons of stuff. This one here is quite interesting. Some nice Wago connectors and links and screws, bits of sticky back tape and all sorts. So the main components are one of these, and one of these. So this is your main receiver that goes on the wall by the boiler, and the wiring is going to connect into this. This is your thermostat that goes on the wall. When it's off, just looks plain white, quite smart. And this, I guess, is the hub it's going to plug in and go next to my router. Power packs, all sorts of leads and things like that, and a nice set of how-to instructions. Alright, we'll get all this apart, get it on the wall, see what it looks like. Okay, so we are now halfway through setting up, and there's just some cool things I want to talk about. So this setup guide here, obviously you've got your QR codes for your app, but also every device you get, so such as this, your I don't know what this bit's called, this is the connection unit, it's called the wireless receiver. You get a sticker like this, your internet bridge gets one, and your temperature sensor gets one as well. And what you do is, as you fit these, you peel the stickers off and stick them in here. So when it comes to setting it all up, they're all stuck in this little handy guide with QR codes ready to go to pair to the system if you need to, which I'm sure we'll get to in a bit. But that was quite cool. The other thing I noticed straight away, compared to something like a Nest or a Hive or something like that, is this little guide that you get. It's aimed at professional installers, which is nice. But also the first step is install the internet bridge. Now, on a lot of systems, you get it all wired in and connected, and then you go and plug the internet in, and quite often there's a 10-15 minute wait before it actually jumps into live. So I've just been and connected this tiny little unit, goes into the router with a USB and a Ethernet. If you've not got a USB cable, you can use this plug. My router's plugged into a USB socket, so we ended up with Ethernet into the router, USB into the USB socket on the wall. Set that up and pair it with the temperature sensor and leave it. So that's in the other room, pairing now. And now this is where you can then go on and sort out your system, getting it on the wall. So that's this itself. We'll come to that in a minute, because I've got to take my old Nest out and put this in instead. And it's not going to fit in the same space, so I've got a little bit of wiring to do. So I'm just getting this back together. It looks a bit weird because it just wouldn't fit in the same opening, which obviously, because I had a box there before, the old Nest, totally different size. So, but I'm fine with that. I've left a bit of space this side to get to the buttons. The terminals are nice and large, so there's no dramas there. Much easier to connect up than the Nest, especially the newer ones. Now this is a first gen Nest, and the third gen's got even less space. So it is nice to work on. Bigger terminals, all these that you can fit a lot more space in. It's well labelled. That's my utility room automatic light going off. It's well labelled, and I guess all these will light up when they're in operation. Central heating only on this one. I'm not using the hot water because we've got a combi. There we go. Baxi, Britain's finest. Anyway, so we'll get the cover on this, and we'll get the fuse pushed in, I guess, and off we go. There you go, you can hear it firing up, and we'll see what happens once we've got all this up and running. Okay, so we've got it on and running. Not impressed with the setup, let's say. It took far longer than I'd have thought it would. Basically, because it's a combi boiler, you have to hold these two buttons together here, and this changes colour. So to say whether it's a combi or an S or Y plan or a traditional gravity system. So once that changes colour, you then press the heating button to cycle through the colours and set it as combi. So at the moment, mine is set as a Y plan or an S plan with heating and hot water control, because I can't change the settings on that. I've been on the website, no amount of Googling or looking on the Tado support site can show me a different method of changing that over. So we've skipped ahead, because I can actually press this, water, it turns the water on even though nothing's connected. If I press this override for the heating, that turns the heating on. Let's just go through here. Thermostat's on the wall. So previously when we had the Nest, I used to walk up to it, it would light up, and then I'd just turn it. So now we've got the Tado, does nothing at all until you touch it, and then you have to wait, and now you can cycle through. So I'll just lift that up. Looks nice and everything. And we'll go back through here. Excuse the state of my utility room. And you can see, it takes a while. Hopefully it'll come through. So yeah, this is what we're struggling with at the moment. Anyway, I'm going to switch now to the iPad, and we'll show you a bit about the app and how I'm getting on with that, and we'll take it from there. So on the iPad, we've got the app set up, everything's logged in. So as soon as I scan the barcode on this sheet here, it picked up the internet bridge, and because I'd already paired the others, it was able to get it all on the app. I didn't need to pair the rest. So I can set the heating now. Even though I've just set it on the wall in the other room, it doesn't seem to have picked up that I've actually changed it. So we'll change that now, and hopefully that should bring the heating on. But the app's quite nice. You know, it looks like the Apple Home app. You can see I've got the heating on there still. I want to turn that off, but I can't fathom out how. We'll get to that in a bit. All your information about your energy savings and things like that are in here. Shows you how many hours you've been using it. You've got options for things like air conditioning and stuff like that. The sensor on the wall detects all this, so the longer it's on my wall, the longer it will learn. And then obviously it shows me where my home is, if I'm away or home, and all the information about that. Warranty packages, boiler, servicing and things like that's all included. So as an engineer, you can go in and add all your boiler details for your customer, so they'll get actually updates in the app to say when servicing is due. Quite clever, all clever stuff. So I'm going to set up next to have it work with Siri, and also have it working on the, here we go, settings, HomeKit, there we go. Give that access to my HomeKit data. So I'm going to add this now to my home, and then we can, you can see I've got all my rooms set up already. Add it to my home in my living room, and we'll get it working with Siri and my Google Nest as well. We've got the Nest Max, we'll take it from there. Okay, so we're here again. We've got the it all set up now and running. I have to say it's not a positive review. I've been doing this for about 2.5 hours now. It's the longest ever thermostat installation I think I've had. So it is working. So when we touch the heating, we can turn it up. We're up to 22.9, and you can see you just have to press tick to do that. That's showing that it's set, and on here you can see that it's set as well. When I go through to the living room, I have to excuse the music, the kids are up. You can see that's now set to 22.3 in here, and it's set at 23 degrees. If I turn that down in here, we can now go back to the iPad, and it takes an age to update. In fact, I will have to Oh, there we go. Got it now. So it took a while, but actually turn that back down. So we are getting there. I'm not a fan, and I'll just run through some of the features as to why and some of the things I've run into. Okay, so we're back in the lounge, and you can see this is the receiver on the wall. It doesn't wake up when you approach it like the Nest, and you have to tap it. It takes a few seconds before it actually gives you the option to change the temperature. And then, as you can see, I'm going to start tapping this now. It takes quite some time to get it to scroll down. So, as we're going down, it hits the home button, and you kind of have to keep tapping before it'll go any more. Not very easy to just whiz it up and down. So don't get me wrong, it's a nice thermostat, looks good on the wall. It was quite easy to install. You get a ton of stuff in the box. The setup was just painful. Like, I've never spent so long trying to actually pair things and get things all working together, making sure everything's working the way it should be. There's a setting on the wireless receiver where you have to change it to combi mode. The instruction manual doesn't tell you, you can only do that after just starting it up. So you actually have to turn the device off and then boot it up again and press the 2 buttons within a certain time. I don't know what the time was because I tried it that many times it wouldn't work. Eventually we got it to work, and it took about 5 minutes after that to change settings. So these are all things that when you're installing it as a professional, if you're stood around on site for 15 minutes waiting for LED lights to flicker, it's going to be so annoying. Whereas if you just turn it on and it works, you can't beat that. So I know I'm comparing it to Nest a lot because it's the one that was in, and it's also, I'd say, the market leader when it comes to smart thermostats. With the Nest, if you turn the dial on the wall, the app instantly updates. So you can see what's going on, you know it's paired. It's really crystal clear. Whereas the Tado, I mean, it might be because I'm doing it for the iPad, I will test it on my iPhone as well. It's just really slow. Like, when you update the wireless temperature sensor in the living room, the boiler itself takes 30 seconds or more to fire up, whereas the Nest, you turn it and it fires up instantly. The connection is so much quicker. What I am going to do as a further trial, I'm going to leave it on the wall for a few days, but there's a 100% chance this is coming out. I'm not keeping it in, don't like it, don't like the way the temperature goes up and down. So difficult to just quickly whiz the temperature up. Everything takes so long and there's no need to. But before I do take it out and change it for a 3rd gen Nest, I'm actually going to disconnect the internet and see if it stops working, because I've got a feeling it relies on that internet bridge being connected, and if that fails, or your router goes off or anything like that, I've got a feeling you won't be able to control your boiler. I'm going to test that for sure, because I don't know, but it does seem, the way it's lagging, it does seem like it's dialing home and then dialing back down before it'll actually make the changes, which will be a real shame because that's not what you want from a thermostat. But I haven't tested that just yet, so you can't take that as gospel in my review. I can do a further review if you like and give you an update at a later date, but so far, initial impressions were it looks really nice out of the box. It seems to have all the features. The app is really smart. It took a while to get onto HomeKit, but we got there in the end. It seemed okay. But user friendliness, actually using it, it's just, maybe I've been spoiled by using the Nest for so long, but it just isn't as nice. It doesn't work as quick as the Hive. It doesn't work as easy as the Nest. Comparing it to like the Honeywells and things like that, and the heat misers, just not a fan. So overall, thumbs down from me, I'm afraid. I'd love to have set this as something that I was going to install lots of, because out of the box it seemed really nice. In fact, this thing here, I think it's that one. You've got the welcome guide and you've got the one with the stickers in. That's the one with the stickers in. That's fantastic. Now, if Nest had something like that, it'd be amazing. All the Nest products with the QR codes. It really seems like it's geared up towards an installer coming along, chucking it all in, taking the stickers off and sitting with an iPad, setting it all up in one go. But actually, it was just a faff and it was not enjoyable. So overall, unfortunately, bad review from me. I will leave it on the wall for a few weeks and see how we get on with it. But I imagine there's going to be a nice, probably a copper 3rd gen Nest on my Christmas list. So Okay, well, I'm Ben from Electrical Innovations. This is a tool talk review for expert trades, and we've been looking at the Tado wireless thermostat. Thanks for watching.